Hello, I'm Ruby Lopez.
And I'm Brendan Moran.
And welcome to Creek Currents. Now in today's episode, we'll be checking out all the healthy activities to get your New Year's off to a great start. I'll be heading over to Sugarloaf Open Space to enjoy the great outdoors, plus we'll visit the Bedford Gallery to see how they curated the new photography exhibit, Snap.
But first, after enjoying many a holiday dessert, it is time to start eating right. So I headed over to the Walnut Creek Farmers Market to meet the people that produce our produce. Hey everybody, I'm Brendan Moran for Creek Currents. Today we are at the Farmers Market in Growers Square in Walnut Creek. Now, the farmer's market is a lot more than just fresh, locally grown fruits and veggies. So let's take a peek at some of the many offerings from this local treasure that's right in your backyard. Come on. I'm here with Gary Skrell. He's the Walnut Creek City Council member, and you're doing more than just shopping this morning, right?
This morning is also a fun day to be spending with the residents of Walnut Creek, visitors to Walnut Creek. You know, every Sunday morning I'm here at the farmers market, but one of every 5 mornings I get to be here just meeting the folks in a much more casual way than in that formal setting of City Hall.
Right, it's a lot less intimidating, right? Yeah. If you're wearing shorts.
Yeah, it's not only less intimidating, the folks seem to really enjoy face-to-face, casual conversations with their elected officials, with their public servants, as I like to say.
Now, are you sent with a grocery list when you come down here?
Every Sunday morning, depending on the season. This Sunday, primarily corn and tomatoes. The tomatoes are finally coming in and they're wonderful.
What do you think about the crowds?
It took me about 10 minutes to get from one end to the other. That's a good thing. You know, Walnut Creek is known for having a vibrant downtown, not just during the leisure center events, but even on the Sunday morning, we're packed. That's a good thing.
Gary, I'll let you get back to your booth, which, by the way, you might want to think about maybe baking some bread or bringing some berries or something.
You missed it. Sorry,
okay.
Sorry, Brendan.
Next time.
All right.
Gary, thanks so much.
Nice to meet you.
All right. All right, I'm here with Barbara Cobser of the Cottage Kitchen and all of her jams. Tell me about them.
I have probably 18 to 20 different kinds of jam that I make from all the local fruits. I either go out to pick it, they bring it in here to market to me, or I grow a little bit of citrus in my yard. So everything is local. I make it all in a commercial kitchen here in Walnut Creek. And
do you make it all yourself?
I do. I get the fruit, I make the jam, I put the label on, and I come to market. And coming to market is the best. This is my home in Walnut Creek, and this is probably one of the best markets around.
I'm guessing you have very sticky fingers.
Well, I have strong fingers. That's for sure.
From like smashing figs and fruit and whatnot?
All the fruit, and well, everything has to be processed, and you have to, you know, get everything in. It's a simple process, but it has to be precise, and it's just doing the same thing over and over. But the best thing is to start with good fruit, and that's what we find here at the market.
Hey, I'm here with Robin with Smith Family Farms. Robin, how are you?
Hi, good, very good.
I want to talk to you about your tomatoes, but specifically the big beef.
The big beef. Well, they are wonderful tomatoes. It's just a regular slicing eating tomato, but it's wonderful flavor. They're just good for sandwiches, salads. They do the trick.
Pick up the big beef, the big.
The big beef. This is a big one. They're not all this size, people. So
That could feed a family for about 3 weeks, right?
yes, it could. Yes, it could. And these have just picked fresh, brought here to the farmer's market, never refrigerated, nothing cold storage, not gas. This is a fresh tomato.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm here with Steve of Steve's Bees, and if you don't believe me, just look at his shirt. How many bee shirts do you have in your closet?
9. I do. There's a gal in our club that if you bring the material, she'll make it for $25. It's a donation to the club. So I pick up bee material and make, but she makes the shirts.
Let's not talk about shirts, let's talk about honey. What's your best seller here?
Best seller probably is the general mixture, Wildflower. Wildflower is always the tastiest, one of the
Which one is that?
This dark honey on the shelf here. Here's a piece of Wildflower comb with Wildflower. It tends to be a darker honey, but this is Wildflower comb sitting in Wildflower honey.
Now you make this yourself, right?
I make it out of my house, actually. Most of it comes through my living room, my garage, and but my bees are not at my house. They're all over the county.
Well, I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my
Is that your first peach of the day?
I'm dance.
You can dance? Show us your moves.
but it doesn't mean it ain't been on the line.
What's your most popular selling wine here?
Definitely the Mount Diablo ones. We have a Syrah and a Cab. On the foot is a Mount Diablo, so definitely the Cab.
Might be just a little, just enough to show you care.
I'm here with Sherry Bennett of the Walnut Creek Downtown Business Association. Sherry, how are you?
Good.
You're shopping this morning, I can tell.
I'm shopping.
But the business district is also a very big part of making this farmers market successful. Can you talk to me about that?
Well, I'm the president of the Downtown Business Association currently, and of course we support the farmers market. We support anything that brings business to the downtown area. We want to naturally keep the downtown alive and people down here shopping and walking around downtown, and the farmers market certainly does bring a lot of people down here.
The crowds are really impressive. I mean, are you at all surprised at that?
No, I'm not. There's a lot of people in Walnut Creek for a million reasons that want to be outside and outdoor dining and outdoor events, and the farmers market certainly is a great thing to have in our town.
What's the one thing that you absolutely have to have when you come to the farmers market?
Tomatoes. Tomatoes. We're shopping for tomatoes today.
I had a great time here at the farmers market today, and you can too, because remember, it's open every Sunday from 8 to 1 p.m. from May to November, and then 9 to 1 p.m. from December to April. For more information, go to cccfm.org. And for those of you that live off Ignacio and Oak Grove, there's also the Diablo Valley Farmers Market, and that is in the Shadelands Business Park. You know what? You cannot have too many good places to stock up on food.
You really can't. And for those of you who are looking to take in a little bit more culture for your New Year's resolution, well then we have got just the event for you. The Bedford Gallery is showing a new nationally juried photography exhibit called Snap. So let's see what it takes to collect some of the country's most compelling images.
So Snap is a nationally juried photo exhibit, and I was asked to be one of the jurors.
and asked also to say something about some of my favorite pictures.
I was asked by the Bedford Gallery, along with Sandra Phillips of the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, to serve as a juror on this exhibition. Well, it was interesting because there were a lot of these photographers were a mystery to me. I was unfamiliar with their names of their work, and it really makes me want to see more. I'm just really impressed at the number of people doing quality work and just following coherent visions in their work.
Rebecca Martinez, it seems to me that her pictures are about families, but they're not normal snapshots. They're not obvious or sentimental or expected, but there's something a little maybe chaotic or psychological or just very new about those pictures that I enjoyed.
I think sometimes curators and critics are a little too eager to reject things that are classic. And when I look at Mina Cataldo's photographs, they're just straight black and white photographs. The one that I selected is a street photograph, and it's taken after 9/11, and it shows people checking the lists of missing persons. In one sense, it could have been taken in the 1950s. By Robert Frank or Dorothea Lange or somebody like that. It's very straightforward, but like those artists, what makes it work is the way she's captured the attitudes and the postures of the people looking. So something that's very simple is quite compelling. That style of photography, I think, will never go out of style when it's done by somebody who really knows what they're doing, like she does.
Melinda Myers is also interested in families. It looks like these are portraits of kids that she has some intimate contact with. And it's something about as intimate as a snapshot, a family snapshot, but it's obviously taken with a good deal of thought, of regard for extending the idea of the family snapshot.
I was really struck by the photographs of Daniel Beltra, which are aerial photographs of oil spills. On the one hand, they could almost be National Geographic photographs, not the kind of thing you would expect to see in a fine art show. But on the other hand, they're so weird, almost surreal, and that's one thing that photography does really well, make sort of abstract shapes out of a scene from nature.
Carlos Chavarria interested me. The pictures are made from a distance. They're not intimate pictures. And they show what looks like a kind of normal life in the country. And you see this wonderful, very direct picture of a town, very modest but very beautiful picture. That was my especial favorite of the three.
I really like the portraits of Jan Watton. They are very straightforward, again, very classic technique that she's able to make interesting because of her mastery of the technique and just the very, very searching gaze that she's put on them. They remind me of daguerreotypes from the 1840s and 50s. Again, something that photography, I think, can do better than anything else.
Well, I would say I find these pictures very interesting because it shows a real dedication, a real commitment to using photography in personal ways, in ways that are new, understanding conventions in our culture, but extending them in very personal ways that are artful.
I hope that someone coming to the exhibit and seeing this collection of photographs would maybe walk out with a little bit clearer idea and be impressed by the possibilities of photography as a creative medium. I mean, really, because of the diversity of these, I think it's a great opportunity to get a glimpse of the different things that people are doing with photography and what that means in terms of its potential.
And if you want more information on SNAP, you can always check out their website at bedfordgallery.org. And they also have information on artist workshops and public art tours.
Now, from modern art to primitive crafts, I had a chance to check out how our ancestors lived at the Open Space Ancient Ways event. I'm out here at Sugarloaf Open Space for the 3rd annual Ancient Ways event. Now there are a bunch of really cool primitive contests, games, and activities happening here today. What do you say we go check out some truly classic competition? Ancient Ways celebrates the history of innovation with opportunities to experience how our ancestors made art, worked, and played.
Hey, loud beats. Good job. Thank you. Good job.
All right, great job. That was enthusiasm.
It was,
All
absolutely.
right. Okay, so tell us about what you're doing here at the Ancient Games today.
This is a wonderful event the City of Walnut Creek Open Space Division is putting on. Just ancient ways, just all different aspects, everything you can think of primitive tools, crafts, music, hunting, everything you can think of we're trying to cover as far as every culture around the globe.
Now you mentioned music. Now you're taking care of that side today.
I am, and getting people involved, as you see.
Yeah.
Basically going around, I'm singing some songs, I'm playing the flute. This is a traditional Kiowa instrument, and many different tribes of Native Americans use these. The Kiowas called it the tombat, which is basically a courting flute.
Okay, and you're wearing all traditional garb, would you say?
Yeah, and traditional over time, from the buckskin leggings, which were worn all throughout, and then once we made contact with Europeans, we always used materials that were available to us. And so the Osage and the Poncas came up with this style of ribbon work from material they had. So it is traditional, but throughout time.
Yeah. Okay, fabulous. And what do you also work for the city as well?
I do. I work for the city. I'm a landscape maintenance worker for Howe Homestead Park. I work for the Open Space Division.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A main attraction at Ancient Ways is the atlatl competition. The atlatl consists of a spear throw and a wooden dart. It's a tool used by Europeans and Native Americans as far back as 400,000 years ago. In modern times, it's been resurrected as a sport. Okay, here I am at the atlatl practice range. Now the heats competition is coming up, and of course I've entered, so I have got to get some practice in throwing this atlatl. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna need a little bit more practice if I'm really gonna compete.
Everybody takes 5 shots, alternating at 15 meters, 5 shots alternating at 20 meters. The highest score out of 100 wins.
Nice. All right. I'm natural. Mark taught me.
Yeah.
Not so bad. You see my first throw? It looks like I actually know what I'm doing here. I'm just going to retrieve my dart and go back for a little bit more practice. And while I ended up faring pretty well in the atlatl competition, I decided it was time to talk with an Ancient Ways expert. We're here with Ranger Bruce now. There are a lot of activities going on today. Talk to us a little bit about Ancient Ways.
Well, the Ancient Ways takes people back in time to their roots. This is like my German heritage did this stuff 40,000 years ago, just like everybody else's. So it's just it's bridging the gap of today and yesterday.
So Sugarloaf is one of the 4 open spaces here at Walnut Creek. Let's talk about what a valuable resource it is to the community.
Well, Sugarloaf's nestled here between Rudger and Livorno Road, about 180 acres. It has great hiking trails, great vistas. Some people might call it like a neighborhood preserve.
Now there is a lot of really neat programs here, and I'm sure everybody at home loves to take advantage of this, but really they can't run without everybody's help and volunteers, right?
Yeah, that's right. And we just started up a new volunteer program.
Okay.
We have a trail volunteer program, we have a history guide program, and a site volunteer program. We just got our first site volunteer here. He came today.
So Ranger Bruce, this is going to be an annual event, correct?
It will be, yes, the second Saturday of August.
Every year?
Well, hopefully every year for many years.
Okay, and I had a really great time throwing the atlatl. Did you get to watch any of it?
I watched you throw, I watched other people throw. I got to throw myself too.
Yes, okay, so I want to do really well. I'm going to practice to come back here next year, and we hope to see all of you at home here next year as well, right?
Well, you bet. We'll see you back here.
And I had a great time here at Ancient Ways, getting in touch with my roots. So if you like what you saw here and you want to find out how you can get involved with the open spaces here at Walnut Creek, visit the city's website at walnut-creek.org. Another great way to connect with Walnut Creek Open Space is to find them on Facebook. So search for Walnut Creek Open Space today and connect.
So, you're at ladle throwing skills? Where did you learn how to do that?
Well, you know, I had a lesson or two, but I guess I just got a pretty good arm.
Just a natural.
What can I say?
Be sure to join us in February, everybody. We'll be checking in with Walnut Creek's Community Emergency Response Team, otherwise known as CERT. We'll get some helpful tips and check out all the new happenings in Walnut Creek.
Next time on Creek Currents.